welcome to Tazama. Today we are at the Kenya Red Cross Society in South Sea. The Kenya Red Cross Society is known for its numerous humanitarian efforts in and around the country. But before we begin our tour of this place, let us start the show with today's story on organ donation. Welcome.
Sight is such a precious gift, and just being able to go about our normal day-to-day activities with clear vision is something we can easily take for granted.
Niligundua hivyo, mimi nilistuka nikashindwa hiyo shida ni ya kuanzia lini juu sikuwa naijua.
Alex Mburu is 9 years old and he has an eye disease called keratoconus, a disease which affects the structure of his corneas.
His performance was not very good, especially when it came to the exams. He could not read for himself. I was supposed to read for him, unlike other children. When it came to writing, copying from the blackboard, he could not copy well. Sometimes he omits some letters. So I noticed there is a problem there.
Nikapata mama mwingine akaniambia niende Lions.
In Alex's condition, we found that the other one eye has a keratoconus which is early and the other eye has a keratoconus which is very advanced. So the one eye will need cross-linking and the other eye will need a corneal transplant.
Hiyo cost yote ya macho mbili ni 1,300.
Because you will get one cornea for $2,000 from US. So there itself you can have the cornea that's 165 or 170,000 shillings. And the cost, because you will have to make the patient stay here for 2 nights and 3 days. So that cost, the surgical cost, the surgeon cost, all the other technicalities and everything will definitely come to 225,000 shillings.
Eye donation is essential because as per the statistics, there are over 50,000 Kenyans suffering from corneal blindness, and unfortunately, majority of them are children. To this figure, about 5,000 are added every year.
When nilienda huko Lions, waliniambia huku Kenya hawana hizo cornea. Hizo cornea zinatoka India ama Ulaya. Juu huko wana donate. Hapa Kenya hawaja donate.
The thing is that if they donate the cornea, the current situation to get the corneas from USA, to pay them and to get the corneas will stop. 40 to 50,000 will be the maximum if I get a donated cornea for us to operate.
Kwanza tulifanya mchango ya macho ya kwanza, ilikuwa 50, tukapeleka, akafanywa hiyo operation ya macho moja, ile sio serious kama hiyo ingine. Sasa hii iko serious. Sasa tukakuja tena tukachanga, tukapeleka 200,000. Sasa tunagoja hiyo cornea.
After many months of great uncertainty, the big day is finally here. Alex has gotten a cornea and is just about to go for his operation. Friends and family have come to celebrate with Alex and his parents and wish him well.
Nilifanya macho, sasa toka kwa kufanya ingine. Baga naenda Lions Club naenda kufanya operation kwa macho. Naenda na mama na dada.
We are now headed to Lions Sight First Eye Hospital for the operation that is only 25 to 30 minutes, but will change Alex's life forever. With a few minutes away from his surgery, the nurse preps Alex.
People are confused that most of the times maybe the whole eye is transplanted, but it's not like that. We just transplant this part, the cornea. But whenever we are taking out the eye from the donor, we take it with the sclera, so with the white part of the eye, okay? The cornea with the white part of the eye. The rest of the eye just remains there. Anybody can be an eye donor, irrespective of their age, their sex, and even the blood group, because cornea doesn't have a blood supply. So there is no matter whatever blood group they are, we can be able to donate they can be able to donate the eye. With the Kenyans, definitely yes, you will need a family consent for it. But basically, it is the person who is donating the eye should have already said or put in a pledge for us. Once there is the pledge, and he must have informed his relatives, the eye should be removed after the rape within 6 hours, because that is the time the eye is alive, the tissues are alive. Otherwise, the tissues start becoming decomposing as after the 6 hours.
The surgery is done. All we can do now is wait to see if it was successful. It has been a couple of months since Alex had his operation, and although it takes over a year for a patient to fully recover, would like to find out if there has been any progress.
Tangu nifanye operation naona vizuri, mpaka na watch TV, mpaka nafanya homework, nacheza na rafiki zangu.
Sasa hivi venye naona kuna tofauti kubwa juu angeweza kusoma. Ukimwambia soma, tuseme kani kwa TV hivi, mwambie hiyo ni channel gani, hakuwa anaona vizuri. Sasa hii anaona vizuri. Sasa tunaona hapa kuna mabadiliko.
Since there is no substitute for the human tissue, the transplantation process depends upon the priceless gift of eye donation alone. So
Kenyans, please donate your corneas.
We are still at the Kenya Red Cross Society and we're going to talk to the Emergency Plus Medical Services head. Yes, hello, sir.
Hello.
Very fine. Yeah. So please tell us exactly what the Emergency Plus Medical Services is.
What we do is to offer emergency medical ambulance services throughout the country. We've been in place for the last 3 years, and what we are continuing to do is to offer that emergency ambulance, whether in the office, at home, or on the road. And we do majority of road traffic accidents. What we would want to have in Kenya is an emergency lane that the ambulances can use to aid in to minimize the response time.
On that note, let us watch today's soapbox.
Tulikuwa na biashara ya watu wanachukua mili ya watu wanauza, na ilikuwa ni biashara mbaya sana, ambapo ilisemekana ya kwamba wengine wanaua watu kwa makusudi apate sehemu yake ya siri. Kwa hiyo vile Mungu alituumba, ukifa usikwe vizuri, upumzike, ngoje Yesu arudi.
Kuomba figo unastahili uombe mtu kama, lakini sio kama huyu anakunyonga pombe na huyu. Unastahili uombe mtu kama huyu, mtu fresh. Juu figo ndio ina nini? Kama kichungi. Kama kichungi.
Ile kitu naweza sema, ile sehemu unaweza patia mtu ndio asaidike, ndio unaweza mpea, lakini si wakati umekufa ati unatolewa macho uende ikatumike na mtu mwingine. Si kwa vile ulivyo.
Mimi mambo ya kudonate sehemu za mwili kama nimeshaaga dunia, hiyo iko 100%, mimi naweza peana tu. Juu hainisaidii kama siko uhai. Hiyo ni kitu inatumika wakati mtu ako uhai. Kwa hivyo yangu, kama kuna mtu ako na problem na kidney, eye ama meno, I can give, naweza peana.
Kudonate mimi na donate sana. Hata napeana watu damu yangu mimi. Na hiyo macho, nasema mtu anaweza tolewa tu. Sababu amekufa asaidii.
We're inside one of the ambulances which operate within the presence of Nairobi, and we're going to talk to one of the paramedics who operates this ambulance.
What we basically have here is an advanced life support ambulance.
Okay.
To that effect, we have several equipment. We have oxygen on board. We use a special type of mask called a non-rebreather mask. Then you can like this. Then based on the same, you can monitor the levels of oxygen. We have a monitor here.
What is that monitor for?
This monitor is what we use to monitor the vital signs. Basically, what we usually known as the vital signs: the blood pressure, the oxygen levels, the pulse, and it has also a feature called ECG monitoring.
On that note, let us take a short break. But when we return, we'll join Lydia, who will be taking us on today's Town Talk.
Welcome back for today's Town Talk. We're in Nairobi County at Baba's Oasis Restaurant, which is located in National Housing Corporation building. By now, I'm sure you know the drill. A couple of local residents and I are going to watch a story and have a discussion about it. So, catch you after the story.
Blood donation is a common practice all over the world. Sadly, in Kenya there are thousands of people who have died due to lack of access to blood in our blood banks.
Nimewahi donate blood nikiwa Nakuru. Nilikuwa na donate nikitaka kujua blood group yangu. At the same time, nilikuwa nataka kuwasaidia wale wanahitaji.
In my life, I've never donated. I'm always busy when it comes to donation.
It is really important to donate blood because in occasions like an accident someone needs to be donated blood to save his life. Like a mother delivering and lacks a lot of blood, he needs to be donated blood to save her life or her baby's life.
Joseph is 24 years old and he is a regular blood donor.
Fine. I'm Joseph. Yes. I've come to donate some blood.
I lost my father because I knew nothing about blood. He had some problem with pancreas and he needed 100 blood donation. He had blood group O plus or positive like me. Although I knew nothing about it. For going in a big hospital like Machakos Hospital, looking for blood everywhere, doctor saying they have not enough blood for him. Then we lost him because of lack of enough blood.
Set up in 2001, the Kenya National Blood Transfusion Services is charged with collection, processing and screening of blood, destruction of contaminated blood and preparation of different blood products.
Most people are not aware that they should donate blood. Our regular source of blood is from voluntary, non-paid donors. Majority of these are in schools, high schools and colleges and workplaces.
Kenya National Blood Transfusion Services carry out campaigns to communities, in colleges, schools, as well as workplaces to ask them to donate blood and donate regularly. When schools are open, they are able to meet 2/3 of the country's needs.
Out of all the blood we collect, I would say that the percentage that we do not use because it's infected in one way or another is about 4%. And if I narrow down to HIV, in our blood donors, HIV is below 1%.
At each donation, they collect an equivalent of between 450 to 500 milliliters. That is equivalent to a pint of milk or a big bottle of soda. Tazama caught up with Kenya National Blood Transfusion Service staff on one of its blood drives in the city center. These blood drives are carried out on a daily basis within the city center. We also took to the streets in urging the public to donate blood.
Have you ever donated blood before? You've never. This would be a nice opportunity to save someone else's life.
And after a while, I got lucky. There were willing Kenyans to go through the donation process. So what happens during this process? The staff will sign you in and go over basic eligibility and donation information while checking your weight. Your hemoglobin level is checked by collecting a blood sample and blood pressure is also checked. Once you have passed these stages, you can now proceed to the donation process. During this process, an area of your arm is cleansed and a sterile new needle is inserted to draw the blood. The actual donation will take around 8 to 10 minutes. After the process is over, a snack and something to drink will be provided in the refreshment area.
Vile nimetolewa damu sina uoga, na saa hii sasa naona sio niko vile nilikuwa na singine nilikuwa nafikiri nikitolewa kiatembea hivi ndasango, lakini kwa saa hii niko sawa, nao wasikuwe na uoga, wakuja wasaidiane.
I don't give blood to help my family member or relative. I just give blood for somebody to be helped somewhere.
Blood is like medicine. There are some people who need blood to be treated, and it has to come from another individual. So unless somebody donates it, then these people will not be able to be helped. So my plea is that let us be regular blood donors as Kenyans.
Let me start by taking a quick poll here. How many of you are regular blood donors? By a show of hands. How many are regular blood donors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so clearly not so many of us donate blood on a regular basis, and that leads me to my first question. Why do you think Kenyans are not donating blood or are afraid to?
Most Kenyans do not understand the need for the blood, how much blood is required. Also, they fear that most of them fear the process is painful, that maybe after they donate blood, they may find out if they are infected with, let's say, for example, HIV, and most of them don't want to test until when someone in their family needs it. That's when they go to donate now.
I also think there's a lot of myths that a lot of people hold. Some of them are not even verbalized, but people still keep them to themselves, such that they feel like if they donated, they would probably develop a condition that they've never had before just because they've lost blood. They don't know if their body would replenish the blood that they've donated or not. It's also associated with, religious beliefs. Blood is considered something sacred, something that you shouldn't just share with people,
Statistics reveal that 70% or more of blood donors are actually within the age of 15 and 19 years old. So what other reasons are there that adults don't donate blood more than the youths?
Most people after high school believe that they are too old to continue donating. So what has happened over time is that the burden of blood donation has been left to high school students, which is a very small percentage compared to the adult population. And if you ask many people why they do not donate, they say, "Mimi nimezeeka." Now I'm leaving that to the younger generation. And I believe that if every single person who is eligible to donate can come forward and donate, would have enough blood that we need in the country.
One of the reasons why many people don't donate is because they think that the next person will do it. They don't think that if they don't do it, then maybe no one else will. So they feel that even if I don't do it, the next person will. So they keep on shifting the responsibility to someone else.
Most of you here are from organizations that deal with blood donation, right? Once you do your blood drives, do you screen on site?
If we were to screen on site, I've had an experience with some of my friends in school. They say they fear the fact that might be they'll be tested for HIV. Some of them do not want to go give their blood and in the same instance get to know their status. So they would prefer to just donate the blood, and if they need to know their status thereafter, then they can go to some centers where they can know that.
I think screening blood on site will be time consuming, because blood donation, I believe, is about numbers, and we want a lot of people to donate the blood.
In developed countries, we find that they donate blood on a regular basis more than developing nations. Do you think that the Kenya National Blood Transfusion Services and affiliate blood donor organizations are doing enough Sensitize Kenyans on the importance of blood donation.
The campaigns they're running in the city, those are very good because people just pass by and they can get information. But I think for the wider public, they need to increase their sensitization campaigns, maybe to TV and radio, and create not just information, people being told do ABC. They just create something that people can relate to quickly and understand the importance of blood donation.
We need to do a lot of campaign, especially to the people staying in the rural areas. Secondly, most of the campaigns are done in Swahili and English. We need to reach people in their vernacular so that they can understand the importance. Where we hold maybe workshops, even seminars, we reach people in the churches. We do the campaigns and let them know the importance.
Yes, to add on that, I don't think the blood organizations are doing enough, because in upcountry there is no sensitization. How do you eliminate myths or misconceptions? You train people, you tell them this is not the case. So I was in Mandera recently and I have not seen any blood donation center. So we need to tap into those rural areas where if you sensitize and you tell them what is the truth and you tell them this will save lives, then I'm sure they will donate blood.
How can we motivate Kenyans to donate blood on a regular basis? And I see you have a point.
I think one way that we can motivate people to donate blood is one that is used in some developed countries, where they give those donating a day off. So when you're donating that day, you know that you have the rest of the day off. So it motivates people to donate.
There are countries actually which have made it mandatory that when you are of this age and you report in a hospital, you will have to donate. And it could be something probably long term. But I think probably change of tact, because like we all agree, the organizations which are currently doing it, in my view, they've done actually more than they ought to be. I think this needs to be more of policy level, even budgetary issues, that when the Ministry of Health is being given their budget, there is a budget allocated for blood issues, and it's followed through to the end.
I also think we need to highlight more positive stories of the people who have benefited from blood donation, because a lot of scenes that we see are people donating. The people donating, probably the screening process, but we also need to go and get the people who have benefited from this blood, either in hospitals who have recovered just because they got the blood they needed in time. And in that way, it actually speaks in itself and motivates other people to want to save more lives, and to see the impact that their donation has made.
From the story that we have just seen, are we motivated to donate blood ourselves on a regular basis? By a show of hands. And now the ball is in your court. We'd like to know, how can we get Kenyans to donate blood on a regular basis? Please use the contacts appearing on your screen and you stand a chance to win a Tazama goodie bag.
Next time you see an ambulance, please give way, because a life has to be saved. You can catch us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at Tazama 6. Until next time, be safe.